Guys, Mars Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so earlier today, or yesterday, I guess, depending on your time zone, it would have been late in the evening for you, we got this interesting new producer letter from Global Dokkan, so aka Koto, hashtag Koto Supremacy. Obviously, it probably doesn't come directly written from her, but hey, you know, she's the face of Global Dokkan now, and there's some very interesting stuff in here, so we are going to go through this. Obviously, if you want to double check any of it yourself, you can go over to the official Global Dokkan Twitter, but we are going to talk through this and talk about what this means for the future. So it says, "Hi everyone, this is the operation team of the international version of Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Thank you for playing Dokkan Battle. In this producer letter, we are going to announce the results of the survey recently held for the international version. On top of that, there are some surprises, so make sure to read through to the end." So this stuff is basically why, this is kind of why we always say that you guys should do these surveys when they put them out. Because not only do, I think most, if not all of the time, you get like a couple of stones as a reward. So obviously there is an incentive to actually fill them out anyway. But the important thing about this is not only are they showing the results here, but this obviously shows that they are actually looking at these results, right? Because if they didn't publish the results at all, we'd have no way to know that they'd even really looked at them, right? And compiled them all together. So the fact that they are publishing them shows that they are seeing them. Now, obviously, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to do all of the things that people request from the survey, but just knowing that they are actually looking at the results is definitely very interesting. So, first question was your thoughts about high difficulty events. So obviously this would apply to things like the Legendary Vegeta event, Extreme Super Battle Road, and obviously for JP, the Red Zone. Now, Red Zone is not out on Global, nor was it out when the survey came out, so you could say that the question is not necessarily with that in mind, because a lot of the time they do treat the versions of the game, you know, very separately. Like they almost sometimes act as if like global players don't know much about the JP version, right? So this question isn't necessarily to do with things like the Red Zone. But as you can see, the majority, over 50%, voted for I would like more of these types of events, which I think that's definitely the one that I put. Then it's the next best one is I am enjoying them, no need for changes, which is fair enough. And then I would like them to be easier and they are too difficult, makes up 3%. So I mean, spot the free-to-play players, obviously. Now, you know, end game content, I think a lot of people, we see people complaining about events in Twitter and in comment sections and stuff. Some of these harder events, a lot of people do need to understand that they are end game content. Like if you started playing Dokkan a month or two ago and you're free to play, you shouldn't be expecting to beat like the Legendary Vegeta event and, you know, more than half, if not even half, of the Extreme Super Battle Road stages, because it's end game content. So it's nice to see that we want more of these kind of things. I mean, I do personally. Obviously, global players, we get to experience the Red Zone when the anniversary comes. So that is going to be interesting. I wonder how many people will change their tune and find the Red Zone too difficult. So the team's comment is more than half of you replied, I would like more of these types of events. As announced earlier under one of the key points of version Z, adding and improving challenging features. We are developing new content for Dokkan veterans. It will take some more time before it's ready to be implemented, so stay tuned for further announcements. Now again, for global, this actually could just be referencing the Red Zone, because like I said, that's not out on global yet, so they could essentially be acting like we don't know that that's coming. But even if it just means, you know, stuff that's not out on JP yet, like further stages of the Red Zone, all that kind of stuff is very important. So on the other hand, some of you said they're too difficult or make them a bit easier. Together with the new content, we're also preparing improvements and adjustments to existing content that will make these events easier to play. These will also be announced as soon as new information becomes available. So this is very interesting, because how exactly do you make some of the harder events easier to play? Because I don't think they would go as far as to like allow extra items, because, you know, like in the Legendary Goku or Vegeta event, you can use less items. Red Zone, you can literally only use one. So I don't know if it would apply directly to that, but it'll be interesting to see how well they could actually implement making these harder events easier. I mean, realistically, the best way to do so is to up the power of free-to-play units. Because, I mean, I just put out the video yesterday showing off the Tech Mighty Mask Super Strike revamp, and he's just not going to be good for difficult content. And having better free-to-play units is something that would make difficult content easier for people. So well, it'd be interesting to see what they do with that. So on to the next image, your expectations for the friend function. So 43% said I would like to team up with friends. 22% said I would like to play against friends. So I personally do not want PvP in Dokkan. So 22%, that's actually kind of higher than I would expect. 10% said I'm satisfied with the current function. I mean, the friend system is terrible, so I'm kind of surprised about that. And then 25% I would like to interact with friends. So the comment, Dokkan Battle is a single-player game that can be enjoyed at one's preferred pace. However, by looking at your replies to the survey, we are aware that many of you are also playing while sharing information with friends and other players. Therefore, we're considering implementing features that will allow you to cooperate with friends and invite friends to complete missions together. This will make cooperating with friends possible while also keeping the play at your own pace aspect intact. That is really good, because that essentially implies they have no even consideration for PvP, based on the way this is worded, which is good, because obviously any gacha that has PvP obviously just becomes immediately dominated by whales and such. So the fact that none of this even implies any consideration for PvP, which is good. So reasons why you would want to include a character on your teams is obviously more about summoning for new units. So we had, I want to see the character's animations, so I build a team focused around that character and join events regardless of the difficulty level. That was 31%. Obviously, a lot of people, myself included, do summon for units that they like, more so whether than, they're super good or not. Like Majin Vegeta, when his details first came out, people were a little bit put off by how wonky parts of his design were, but I love Vegeta, I love Majin Vegeta, I love the animations, so I wanted to summon for him regardless. And then 43%, I like to check the character's performance, so I build a team that includes that character to play difficult content. So most of the replies, in fact, like the total is like 74%, is basically just seeing the character's animations and how well they work on teams in the more difficult content. And then the minority is character works well with other characters on the team. I feel like that is like a minimal thing, right? Like if your favorite team is Majin Buu Saga, and then a character's coming out who is a character you don't even really like, but they work really well on the Majin Buu Saga team, I can't see people being hyped to summon for them for that reason, although I guess technically that's what this 21% means. So the question's purpose was to check how you play with the new characters you recruit. Those of you who include them on your team to play difficult content are the slight majority, but many also enjoy matching them with other characters or watching their animations. Take these suggestions into consideration for future characters. I mean, this is good, essentially, just it means they know that people are really liking the new quality of the animations. So, I mean, comparing to how Dokkan used to be, the animations now are absolutely, like, mind-blowing. So, very, very cool. Then we have your expectations for the international version in the future. And this is the big one, right? This is the thing that we kind of are always talking about. So 66% of people replied to the survey saying implementing characters at the same time as the JP version. And I don't have my web camera up right now, but to all 66% of those, like all those people, trust me, I am saluting you right now, because that is exactly what I put. As a global player, I want the versions to sync up, probably more so than anything else. And I know there's a bunch of arguments for why people don't want that to happen and why people do. And, I think personally it will be better for the game overall. In the last few years, we've seen that, like, global foresight, with the amount that they've switched around celebrations and banners and then changed the units on banners. Like, the global foresight is still useful, but nowhere near as much as it used to be. And missing out on the hype, especially for like some events where we do literally have to wait like 4 to 6 months. Some things are coming quicker now. Some things are literally 1 to 3 months behind JP, which is pretty cool. But some other stuff we still have to wait 6 months, and it really does kill the hype for some of the stuff. I mean, you think about like the anniversary on JP with all the crazy stuff that came out was probably the most hyped time for the Dokkan community online. And obviously half of us were just kind of sat watching it from the sidelines because we couldn't actually play it. So only 8% replied implementing characters prior to the JP version. So I guess that's probably based on the fact that Global Firsts seem to have this reputation, I should say, of being bad. But, like, when we look at, like, STRUI Goku, the Go Bros, Tech Broly, like, when those units came out, obviously some of them have aged badly now, but those units were, like, some of the best units in the game when they came out. So, there has been some fumbles in the past, for sure, but Global Firsts don't necessarily have to be bad. So, I'm kind of surprised that that's only 8%. 22% said adding content exclusive to the international version, which I guess is a more selfish answer than B, right? Because it's global only rather than just coming to global first. But obviously this is stuff like the ticket packs that we get, which obviously are very, very good for the global version. So this is the important bit right here. The majority of you are expecting to have characters implemented at the same time as the Japanese version. We are considering increasing the number of events held at the same time as the Japanese version. In fact, this year we already have plans for campaigns that will be held simultaneously. Now, the big thing about this is you think about last year and what we take for granted going forward now, right? So last year we had Golden Week is at the same time. Well, Saiyan Day was actually first, so I should have started there. Saiyan Day is at the same time. Golden Week is at the same time, the Download Celebration is at the same time, and the Heroes Celebration is at the same time. Those are the 4 that, based on last year, we would expect to see going forward. Now, we would have expected to only see those 4 going forward again this year. But remember, this says right here, we are considering increasing the number of events held at the same time as the JP version. So we're already working from the basis that we have those 4 events at the same time. And this implies that we are going to get even more than that. So even though it's not the final confirmation of them syncing up or anything crazy like that, this definitely means that they are considering pushing more and more of this stuff up. And you got to think, even if you are one of the people that doesn't want the games to sync up, and I'll be happy to discuss with anyone in the comment section why I think it would be good and hopefully assuage some of your fears, but this is 2/3 of the global player base want more stuff to come out at the same time. So that is a huge majority. And then expectations for the producer letter, so new information about characters, communication via surveys and stuff like that. That's pretty straightforward. We're striving to improve the game while listening to your opinions, and we hope you will enjoy our upcoming letters. And then the final image here, very, very cool. So we have read every single comment we received, and we're referring to them when planning updates and events. One last thing, the information on the next campaign will be released on the 24th of the 4th PST. Who will the new characters be? Try to guess in the comments. Now, I think it might have been Luca Dokkan posted the other day. This is the exact time, I believe, which, let me look at the thing here. So this is Sunday evening, Monday morning for me in the UK. This is when, in the news, it appeared with those, like, new Dokkan Fest is coming little teaser banners for Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta. So this is pretty much confirming that come that Sunday evening for America, Monday morning for me, we are going to see something in the game that shows who the Dual Dokkan Fest for this upcoming celebration is going to be. So that is very, very exciting. And like they say here, try to guess in the comments. Try to guess in the comments of this video. I'm very interested to hear what you guys think it is going to be. So yeah, big news. Like, it's always good to see with these games that they are taking into account the feedback that we give. That is very good. For the first couple of years, Global especially was very bad about this. So this is really good to see going forward. And yeah, let me know what you think about more stuff coming out at the same time on both versions, moving slowly but surely towards hopefully the game syncing up. And like I said, let me know down below, who do you think the units coming up for the next celebration are going to be? So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.